On December 1st, 2025, it was already too late. After 50 Cent released the documentary, Diddy's downfall began. Shawn Combs' The Reckoning had officially premiered on Netflix, and what it exposed couldn't be stopped, erased, or taken back. But someone is desperate to stop it. That's when Diddy's legal team launches their attack. A cease-and-desist letter lands on Netflix's desk. Urgent, aggressive, unprecedented. The accusations? Shocking. They claim Netflix produced a shameful hit piece, using stolen footage never meant for public eyes. But here's where it gets darker. They allege the documentary violates attorney-client privilege, showing private legal meetings that were supposed to remain sealed forever. This isn't just a legal document. This is a declaration of war. Diddy's team is trying to bury this documentary before a single person can watch it. The threatening lawsuits, damages, legal consequences. The message is clear. Stop this now or face destruction. But they're already too late. The footage has leaked. Social media explodes with clips showing Diddy's real-time reaction to 50 Cent's documentary. Shock, anger, pure disbelief, spreading like wildfire across every platform. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, millions are watching. The clips are everywhere. The damage is done. And Netflix, they're not backing down. They're not negotiating. They're going forward, no matter the threats, no matter the consequences, no matter what happens next. But here's where this story takes a darker turn. The footage Netflix used, Diddy's team claims it was stolen. Not just borrowed, not just repurposed, stolen. We're talking about recordings from 6 days before Diddy's September 2024 arrest, private strategy sessions with his lawyers, intense discussions about his criminal defense, moments that were never supposed to see the light of day. Behind-the-scenes footage that reveals a side of Diddy the public was never meant to witness. His spokesman, Judah Engelmeyer, goes on the offensive, straight to TMZ, calling Netflix a corporate thief. He reveals something shocking. This footage came from Diddy's personal archive, material he'd been filming since he was 19 years old. Decades of recordings, every conversation, every private moment. Why? To control his own narrative. And now, Netflix allegedly ripped it out of context without his permission. The alleged invasion of privacy becomes their entire case. They're claiming attorney-client privilege violations, corporate theft, media manipulation on a massive scale. But then we hear what's actually in those recordings. One line stops everyone cold. We have to find somebody that'll work with us who's dealt in the dirtiest of dirty business. His team says it's being twisted, taken out of a private legal discussion, weaponized against him. But the documentary, it paints this as evidence of something far more sinister, a window into Diddy's real mindset before his arrest. Aggressive, calculating, morally ambiguous, desperate. The question becomes, what else is on those tapes, and who else is mentioned? And then, someone steps out of the shadows. Michael Oberlys, Diddy's longtime videographer, the man who captured everything. He breaks his silence with a bombshell statement. For 2 years, Oberlys had been working on an intimate profile of Diddy, exclusive access, unfiltered moments, behind-the-scenes footage no one else could get. A documentary meant to show the real Diddy to the world, the man behind the empire, the human beneath the brand. But here's what he reveals. He didn't release the footage. Someone else did. Someone who covered for him for just 3 days while he was away. 3 days. That's all it took. In that brief window, someone from inside Diddy's inner circle saw an opportunity, and they took it. They leaked it, or worse, they sold it. Oberlys calls it what it is: betrayal. Not a professional decision, not a whistleblower exposing truth, an act of pure treachery. Years of work destroyed, trust shattered, storytelling ethics violated. All for what? Money? Revenge? Something even darker? But here's where it gets even more suspicious. Nobody's saying who did it. Not Netflix, not Oberlys, not even 50 Cent. The name remains hidden, protected, sealed away, erased from every conversation. Was it a disgruntled employee settling a score? Someone desperate for cash, auctioning off secrets to the highest bidder? Or was this an intentional setup, calculated, planned, executed perfectly, designed to humiliate Diddy at his absolute lowest point? The leak came from inside. Who benefits most from his fall? But Diddy's legal team isn't done. They're building a theory that goes much deeper, and if they're right, this entire documentary was revenge. Here's what they claim. Years ago, Netflix CEO Ted Sarandos personally approached Diddy. He wanted to make an official documentary, a prestige project, full creative control, the Diddy story, told on Netflix's biggest stage, an opportunity most would kill for. But Diddy said no. He turned them down flat, rejected the offer completely. And Netflix? They didn't forget. According to Diddy's team, Netflix went to the one person guaranteed to destroy him, his sworn enemy, 50 Cent, a man with decades of documented beef, a man who's publicly mocked, taunted, and humiliated Diddy for nearly 20 years across social media, interviews, music. They handed him the project. They gave him the platform. They funded his vendetta. This isn't journalism, they argue. This is corporate retaliation disguised as a documentary. Netflix weaponized 50 Cent's hatred, knowing exactly what kind of story he'd tell. One-sided, brutal, unforgiving, designed to inflict maximum damage. The rivalry between 50 Cent and Diddy isn't new. It's legendary, public, vicious. Everyone in the industry knows it. So why would Netflix choose him of all people to tell this story? Netflix categorically denies everything. They insist the project was greenlit for legitimate journalistic and cultural reasons. Not personal, not vindictive, just timely. But here's the thing about revenge. It's patient. It waits. And Diddy's lowest moment? That was their opening. And then a voice emerges that stops everyone. Janice Combs, Diddy's 85-year-old mother. Frail, protective, and furious. She releases an emotional statement through Deadline, striking back at Netflix with everything she has. These inaccuracies regarding my son's upbringing and family life were intentionally done to mislead viewers and harm our reputation. She defends herself. She defends her parenting. She explains that she worked 3 to 4 jobs to raise her son alone, a single mother giving him love, education, and opportunity. Not abuse, never abuse. But the documentary has receipts. Archival footage surfaces, an old interview on Inside the Actor Studio. Janice sits beside Diddy, smiling, laughing, joking about spanking him as a child, on camera, in her own words. Then come the voices from Diddy's past. Tim Patterson, a childhood friend, describes beatings, not discipline, beatings. And Kirk Burrow, a former Bad Boy executive, drops a bombshell. He accuses Diddy of slapping his own mother after the 1991 City College tragedy. Janice calls it lies, patently false. She denounces Burrow as a liar with a financial motive. He's been suing Diddy since 2003 for a stake in Bad Boy Records. Money. That's all this is, she claims. Her statement ends with a demand. I am requesting that these distortions, falsehoods, and misleading statements be publicly retracted. Netflix's response? Silence. They refuse to alter anything. They refuse to remove anything. The footage stays. While Diddy fights from prison, 50 Cent is reveling in the chaos. He's not just watching the fallout, he's orchestrating it, turning the entire thing into a viral spectacle. December 8th, 2024, 50 posts a meme that stops the internet cold. He confirmed something diabolical. He intentionally scheduled his ABC News interview to air on a channel Diddy could watch from prison. Think about that. He wanted Diddy, locked up, powerless, forced to watch him discuss the documentary. From behind bars, unable to respond, unable to fight back. Fans call it what it is, a masterclass in pettiness, psychological warfare at its finest. But 50's not the only one talking. Other rappers jump in, and it gets ugly. Ja Rule attacks on social media, calling 50 a dry snitch, accusing him of exploiting victims for personal gain, building his brand on other people's trauma. He even drags up 50's own past domestic allegations, throwing the hypocrisy right back in his face. Then, Marlon Wayans issues a warning. Be careful what you put out into the universe. The implication? Karma. What goes around, comes around. 50's response? Mocking edited images, more memes, more trolling. He's untouchable, or so he thinks. The feud explodes into a social media circus, celebrity gossip, criminal justice, hip-hop politics all colliding at once. Everyone's choosing sides. Everyone's talking. But here's the real question. Is 50 Cent exposing the truth or just settling old scores while the world watches? December 2nd, 2025. The Reckoning hits Netflix, and it explodes. Within hours, it rockets to the #1 spot in the United States, then the United Kingdom. The entire world is watching. Critics call it comprehensive, emotionally charged, a cultural moment that forces hip-hop to confront its silence. Even Joe Budden, never one to hold back, praises the film's balance. He admits it doesn't just demonize Diddy, it traces his rise and his fall. Context, nuance, the full story. But the controversy, it's not going anywhere. Some argue 50 Cent isn't seeking justice, he's weaponizing accountability, turning journalism into personal warfare, revenge disguised as truth. And Diddy? He's watching all of this unfold from prison. Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution, New Jersey. He's serving a 50-month sentence, about 4 years, for 2 counts of transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution. His expected release, June 2028. His legal team keeps threatening lawsuits against Netflix, but nothing's been filed. Just threats, empty warnings from behind bars. Here's the brutal irony. The man who built an empire around image control, branding, media dominance, now watches that empire collapse through the very medium he once mastered, television. He's trapped, forced to watch his rival narrate his downfall from a prison TV set, possibly ABC News, one of the few channels available. The king of controlling narratives can't control his own story anymore. While the world debates, dissects, and devours The Reckoning, there's one person who can't escape it: Diddy himself. Fort Dix Federal Correctional Institution, New Jersey. Cold, concrete, isolated. A world away from the penthouses, the private jets, the yachts, the empire he spent decades building. This is where Shawn Combs now lives. He's serving a 50-month sentence, roughly 4 years, for 2 counts of transporting individuals across state lines for prostitution. His expected release date? June 2028. Years from now. Years of watching everything he built crumble from behind bars. His legal team keeps issuing threats, strongly worded letters to Netflix, warnings of massive lawsuits, demands for retractions, threats of damages that could reach millions. But here's the thing. Nothing's been filed. No actual lawsuit. No court date. Just empty threats from behind prison walls. Words without power. And this is where the irony becomes impossible to ignore. The man who built an empire around image control, who mastered branding, who dominated media, who carefully shaped narratives for decades, now watches that empire collapse through the very medium he once controlled: television. He's trapped. No publicist to call, no crisis management team to deploy, no way to spin this. He sits in a cell, powerless, forced to watch his rival, 50 Cent, narrate his downfall on one of the few channels available, ABC News, the same channel 50 specifically chose, knowing Diddy would see it. The king of controlling narratives has lost control completely. So what does all of this really mean? Beneath the drama, the threats, there's something deeper happening here. A cautionary tale about fame, ego, and the price of power. First, there's the self-destruction. Diddy spent decades filming everything, every moment, every conversation, trying to control his legacy, to own his narrative. But that obsession, it became the weapon that destroyed him. His own footage, his own words, his own recordings, evidence that shattered the image he worked so hard to protect. Then there's 50 Cent. He positions himself as the truth teller, the reformer exposing corruption. But let's be real, this isn't just about justice. It's rooted in decades of personal animosity, revenge dressed up as accountability. Both sides are fighting to control the narrative. Diddy's legal team, Netflix's lawyers, everyone's weaponizing footage, statements, silence, each trying to spin the story their way. But in the digital age, nobody controls anything anymore. And then there's Janice Combs, his mother, 85 years old, defending her son against the world. Unconditional loyalty, even as his reputation collapses. Family versus truth, love versus reality. But here's the final truth. Diddy's downfall isn't just a legal story, it's a viral event, shaped by memes, interviews, social media wars. His scandal became entertainment, consumed, debated, shared millions of times over. In the end, this story asks one question. When you spend your life controlling your image, what happens when that control is ripped away? If this story shocked you, hit that like button and subscribe, because the industry has more secrets buried than you realize. Stay with us as we continue exposing what they don't want you to see.